Welcome to the InkWater. Here, we don't just tell stories, we uncover moments that shape kingdoms, reveal characters, and remind us that every choice leaves its mark. Today's chronicle takes us back to the kingdom of Blackwater, where the court stands quiet, the throne sits empty, and a king chooses to leave the safety of his castle in search of something far more valuable than praise. Today, we meet the man who walks beside him. Not the loudest voice in the kingdom, not the strongest warrior, but the advisor whose eyes see what everyone else overlooks. This is the story of Rowan. Dawn settled gently over Blackwater Castle. The first rays of sunlight stretched across its stone walls, casting long shadows over the courtyard below. The banners rested quietly in the morning air. The night's watch exchanged places with the days. Servants carried water through the halls. The smell of warm bread drifted from the city beyond the gates. Blackwater was waking, yet the great hall remained silent. The throne sat empty. King Leif stood alone upon the eastern balcony. His hands rested beyond his back as he looked beyond the castle walls. Not at the buildings, not at the roads, but at the people who would soon fill them. The judgment of the bread thief had spread across the kingdom. Some called him merciful. Others believed he shown too much compassion. A few questioned whether the kindness had been place of justice at all. Leif accepted neither of their praises, neither of their criticisms. Justice was never meant to please everyone, only to be worthy of the truth. A quiet pair of footsteps echoed behind him. Leif smiled before he even turned. I was beginning to think you had finally learned how to sleep. The calm voice answered, I've considered it, Your Majesty. The timing has the timing has never worked in its favor. Leif chuckled. There you are. He turned to face the man who stood beside him through victories, failures, and every difficult decision in between. Rowan, no jeweled robes, no medals, no grand display of authority, just a weathered cloak, steady eyes, and a mind that noticed what everyone else overlooked. Walk with me. Leaf stepped away from the balcony. Without another word, Rowan fell into a step behind him. Neither man hurried. The castle corridors echoed softly beneath their boots as servants bowed and continued about their work. One young page stopped.
Hi.
Your Majesty, shall I notify the council you'll be arriving shortly? Leaf smiled. No, not yet. The boy nodded and hurried away. Rowan glanced towards him. You've already made someone nervous. Leaf chuckled. I've found expectations are heavier than crowns. They descended the final staircase and exited through the modest gate used more often by workers than royalty. The guard straightened immediately. Your Majesty! Leaf raised a hand. At ease. One guard hesitated. Will you require an escort? No. The guard looked toward Rowan. Rowan simply replied, If he insists on wandering into trouble, I'll make certain he finds his way back. Leaf laughed. I suppose that the closest I'll ever receive to reassurance from you. Rowan's expression never changed. I thought it was generous. Together, they entered the walking streets of Blackwater. Morning had finally arrived. Merchants swept the fronts of their shops. Children chased one another through the narrow streets. The smell of fresh bread drifted through the air. A blacksmith hammer rang up steadily across the square. Leaf smiled. It seems peaceful. Rowan remained silent. After several steps, Leaf finally asked, Well? Rowan looked around the city one more time, then answered quietly, I see 4 problems already. Please follow me, the Inkwalker. See you on the next journey.